Welcome to the Donley Auctions Unfiltered Podcast, where history meets the highest bidder. Hi, I'm Susan.
And I'm Randy Donley.
And along with our trusty auction dog, Tucker, we're here to bring you the thrill of the auction, the behind-the-scenes scoop, and everything in between. We've got amazing stories behind the treasures, even some crazy stories you wouldn't believe, insider tips for both buyers and consignors, and maybe even a cameo or two from Tucker the auction dog. So whether you're a seasoned collector or just dipping your toes in, get ready for a wild ride through the world of auctions.
Join us each week on your favorite podcast platform, but for the best experience, tune into this podcast on a platform that supports video like YouTube or Spotify. We've got some great visuals to enhance every episode.
Hello, another podcast. Another week has gone by. It just is crazy, you know. Thank goodness that business is crazy good here at Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois. So go to our website. You can always see more about what we've got coming up and everything. But this weekend we had two auctions. 110, bid it at 110. 110 to go, bid it at 110. 110 where? All in. Sold at 100. And it's always fun when an auction's over. You know, you put a lot into it and everything, but when it's over, it's fun to move on to the next one. So what we're doing right now is moving everything out and in at the same time, because we've got November. November is probably my absolute most fun auction. I would have to say. I love the November auction. It's held in conjunction with the Slot Machine and Jukebox show that's held in Grays Lake, Illinois. And that show has been going on for, probably 40 years. We've been an exhibitor at the show, and we have become the nighttime entertainment for everybody who comes from all over the world for this show. They fly in from all over. So we hold an auction in the evening, show during the day, Donley auction at night, Friday night.
That's definitely going to be one of the highlights of Friday night. It's going to be Friday night? Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, both these. Well, this, we'll get all the good stuff on Friday.
We are also holding a Thursday auction and a Saturday auction. So there's a lot going on for the weekend.
Sunday.
Pardon me?
And Sunday.
Is there a Sunday auction also?
That's the engines.
Oh my gosh. How could I forget the steam engines and gas engines? And what a collection. It's funny because this big collection of engines, I talked to a gentleman like 5 years ago. He showed me his collection. And then one day, I get the call, hey, it's time. Remember, but he remembered the deal I offered him 5 years ago. But I stuck to it and everything. So gosh, we got a lot going on this weekend. Busy week, more coming and everything. I have told you that I've collected military relics for 50 years, and that's no joke. It's actually more like 60 years now. And here is a picture of Randy Donley when he was, I'm 11 years old here, and that is my collection. At this stage of the game, I only collected World War I. Now, you got to remember, in the 1960s, World War II is only 20 years old. So it wasn't like it was some, a long ago event and everything. So I started out collecting World War I relics. Now, here's something really interesting about that is my brother and I would cut grass, shovel snow and everything, and then we would go door to door and ask people if they had any military relics for sale. And you'll see in this picture, there's various rifles and everything, and I had a standard rate. I paid $8 for any rifle, and I had no idea what I was buying, but people would sell these to a kid. An 11-year-old kid comes to your door with some money and you sell him a gun. Back in those days, nobody thought anything of it. And I'd bring them home, and my dad would take the bolts out of the rifles, and then we played with them. We just used them to play Army and everything. And then here's another picture. This one you'll get a kick out of because I'm a little older here. I'm probably 13 in this picture. So by this time, I'm collecting World War II. And this is the picture, somewhere I've got the paper, of me with my collection. And this made the cover of the Cicero Life, Cicero, Illinois. And look here's a kid with a Nazi flag in the background. You know, I was collecting military relics. I knew nothing about, the Nazis or anything, and had certainly no ideology about, the Nazis. And today, if anybody had a picture of you, with Nazi flags and everything, man, they'd crucify you. But I was just an innocent young collector. What did I know? But it made the cover of the Cicero newspaper. So, yes, I've been collecting for 60 years, and we have, of course, big military auction coming up. Civil War is in December, 14 and 15. So the 14th is just Civil War. Great collection. We keep talking about it. I can't talk about it enough. Best collection I've ever seen, let alone had to sell. But day 2 is going to be military relics, like when I was a kid. And we've got a really great lineup of World War II guns and military that we'll be selling on day 2 in December. So it's around the corner. Keep watching the website, keep watching the podcast, and we'll keep you informed of everything going on around here. We're starting, I think, well, I'll wait on this. I got a little, I'll make an announcement next week about our new. Ooh, did I say that? Okay, well, stay tuned. We'll tell you more about it next week.
And 1287, we've got a abstract modernist oil painting by Kurt Peterson. Start us at, how about 1,000? 1,000 to go, bid it at 1. 1,000 to go, bid it at 1,000. 1,000 where, bid it at 1,000.
More stuff.
More checks to sign. Time to always pay the consignors. So, and that's something else. We pay in 30 days. But you know what? I try to pay sooner, but sometimes, it's off to the races trying to collect. People buy stuff. They buy it online, and it's all fun to buy, but it's not so much fun to pay. So sometimes we have to chase people to pay so that we can pay our consignors, and that's why sometimes it does take a full 30 days. So when we say 30 days, that's 30 business days also. But we pay on time.
I think it's just force of habit.
See, Neil comes in, get his picture. Come around here, Neil. And Neil comes in whenever he wants a check. See, that's when I see Neil, when it's time to write checks. So you're going to pick up a gun collection this week? Yes, that we're buying.
Yeah, that's Tuesday.
Yeah, okay. So that's one thing to always remember, that we do buy here too. I mean, I'll always advise you to run it through the auction. I always think you'll do better running it through the auction, but in some cases, people want to sell it. Neil and I will buy it, but we're just going to put it in the auction. So, think about that. There's a reason for auctions. They do better than an outright sale. Hey, I love my job. This is the fun. This Indian came to us today, and years ago, as a collector, went back when I was in my 30s, I started to collect cigar store Indians. And this back then was my Bible. This is a book written in 1953 by Pendergast. So at the time, this was state of the art in collecting tobacco figures and everything. But there's the picture of this particular
not this very one, but this design. And the author, of course, also had a picture of himself standing with it, just as I am now. This is coming up for sale in November. Again, it's a very rare opportunity. It needs work. It's been damaged over the years. It has cracks in the legs, the arms. It's using a support right now for his arm and everything. But this is a statue, a cigar store figure that really is rare and can absorb or afford the cost of restoration to make this a perfect piece. So it's being offered again in November. It's not one, if you like cigar store figures, this is one you really want to look at. One thing I talk about from time to time is the fact that we don't always have auctions. A lot of times we have private sales. And here's a prime example of that. We've just completed the sale of 4,000 cylinder records. You can look around here as a private sale to one person. So again, if you have items that you want me to sell for you, they don't necessarily have to go for auction. I have private buyers who buy in bulk, all kinds of things, be it cars, advertising, motorcycles, slot machines, phonographs. You know we do it all. So I'm Randy Donley, and I'll see you at the auction.
That's a wrap for this week's episode. Be sure to join us next week for more amazing stories, hidden treasure tips, and a sneak peek at some of the incredible items hitting the auction block. And remember, if you're sitting on a hidden treasure, don't let it gather dust. Email us at consign@donleyauctions.com and we'll make it fit in your wallet.